Hi, my name is Avery Espiritu, and I'm here to talk about the United States education system. So, how is education in the United States? The federal government only allocates $76.4 billion to the education system, a fraction of the $1.5 trillion spending package. So, most of the money for education comes from the state and local governments. This means that the state and local governments have to rely on property taxes for public schools, which can vary widely between wealthy and poor areas. Thus, the district creates funding gaps and negatively affects the quality of education for low-income and minority students. For example, on average, school districts with the greatest concentration of Black, Latino, or Native American students receive around $1,800 less per student than districts educating the least students of color. Financially, there is also the issue of the student loan crisis. The amount of student debt in the United States totals nearly $1.75 trillion, and about 46 Americans have student loan debt. While many progressive leaders have called for the cancellation of student debt, the debt has kept on climbing over the years and seems poised to continue that way. In addition, today's education does not necessarily address the needs of students in this modern age. This was prevalent during the pandemic when schools and universities had to transition to virtual learning. Wealthier schools had most students either already own a device or borrow one from the school. But in lower income schools, borrowing was rarely an option, leaving many kids without a way to participate in schools. This is backed by a survey of low-income families in Los Angeles, which shows that many students became disengaged, especially when home technology was lacking or wasn't reliable. This left low-income students set back behind their wealthier counterparts. The problem with the education system does not just apply to students, as teachers are also struggling under the current model. Many teachers are leaving the classroom due to either a lack of appreciation, multitude of stress, or a lack of pay. The pandemic amplified these problems, as a study done by US News found that 44% of public schools reported having at least one teaching vacancy, and 61% of them identified the pandemic as a cause of those vacancies. Obviously, there are a lot of problems with education that cannot be fixed with just one law passed or one change in the budget. However, I hope that by me bringing awareness to these problems, we can start to encourage government leaders to pass and create solutions. Solutions like canceling student debt, making funding schools a priority by allocating more funds towards technology in schools, and increasing teacher compensation and working conditions to encourage more enrollment. If we can start to shorten the gap between low and high income schools and compensate teachers for their work, we can mitigate education problems by giving everyone a fair shot to learn. Thank you for listening and have a good day.